Good evening. It being just after 6 o'clock, I will call this meeting of the Board of Selectmen for October 30th, 2018 to order. We are at the Senior Center on Forest Street. If you would please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first order of business is approval of the minutes of October 16th, 2018. I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes as written.
Make a motion to approve.
And I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the October 23rd, although I was there, I was only there for half the meeting, so I think I'll push that off until Jason's back. You can approve that, so we'll put that on for the next agenda. Next order of business, approval of the warrants, and entertain a motion to approve school warrant number 1019 for $75,930.82. General warrant number 1023 for $134,251.30, and payroll warrant number 9 for $337,044.72.
Make a motion to approve those.
And I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next order of business, financial items, timeline for the FY20 budget process.
Do you want me to look for the timeline that we've done in the past years? Some years we've tried to have people have their departmental budgets in by the end of December. It seems to work better if they're due by the end of January, because that way you get a full 6 months worth of budgets that Nancy can send to everybody.
Yeah, that's what we did last year, right? Last
Yes.
year's worked pretty good. We
Okay.
were pretty ready for stuff last year, the
Okay, so-
finance committee. Right, Chet? Were we good for our budget last year? We're talking about the budget process.
Yes,
Last year's budget process went pretty well, right?
it went very well.
So we'll try to follow the same,
Follow it.
okay.
Okay, then I'll look for what we did last time. Sounds good.
Okay. The next order of business is policy for the highway mechanic. We have the draft of a policy just to prioritize the mechanic's use of his time. Did you review that?
I saw it, I don't have it here.
Do you want to?
Oh, I didn't take it unless it's stuck. Oh, it's right here. It's behind. Well, the question is, when highway bills water and sewer, where's the money going? Back to highway?
To the general fund. And it's the same as,
It doesn't say that, it just says,
Yeah, we can put that in there, that it,
pay for all labor costs we paid at the mechanic's hourly rate, but it doesn't say where it goes. If it
Okay.
goes to highway or if it goes, so it's gonna go back to the general fund? Or should it go to highway to be spent on highway projects? I didn't get where it was going. He's gonna send a bill, but
yeah, well, because they're an enterprise fund, so money goes back and forth between the enterprise fund and the general fund because the users of the water pay for the water, and so there are other things that they bill out for too. We recoup costs for our treasurer, our collector, the accountant,
Insurance.
right? Insurances and stuff like that. So it usually comes back into the general fund as an accounting mechanism at the end
will
of the
that
year.
be
so-
understood by highway, that they don't get the money?
well,
Sends the bill, it's
if we
gonna
put it,
go.
if we put it in
Right,
here.
well, that's why because it didn't say where it was going, so
Yeah.
Yep,
if we just specify,
yep, we can do that.
Yeah, to be deposited to general fund or something like that.
Yeah, which will be allocated to the general fund or something like that, so some language to that effect.
but the rest of it looked fine.
Yep, that's what we discussed, so,
That clears that up for me.
okay,
That was the only thing I didn't
yep, perfect.
see it in there, so. So draw that up and do it next week or the next meeting?
Yep, yep. I mean, do you see anything else you want to change, or?
Have they both seen this? highway and fire and water and sewer?
No,
Do they need to?
Nope.
No?
No, this is pretty much directed.
the selectmen are telling,
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as everybody's good with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, I think that's what we discussed and
Okay.
agreed to, so.
all right, well, I don't know if there's a better way to say things, or, okay,
Yeah, if we run into an issue, we'll have to clarify later, but I think it's good.
okay.
Okay, so that's that. An appointment to the Library Building Committee. You have anything here? Oh, yeah, Ellen Smith.
I don't see her. No, Dawn, it would be Dawn. I thought she was coming, but she
Oh,
was
Don Smith.
Dawn
Don,
Thistle.
okay. So this is from Ellen Smith. Who's Ellen Smith?
Bob's wife, she's on the, Friends of the Library. I think she's a library trustee, too.
Oh, okay, so it's
Yeah.
from the trustees to us.
Right.
Looking to put the new library director on.
On the building committee, right, as an ex officio, because Ann Kidd was.
Yeah, if we've met her before, we know who she is.
Yep.
Do you need to have her here to appoint her? I mean, she's already the library director, and we're just replacing one library director
Yep,
with the
no,
next
I'm
library
good with
director.
that, yep, I know who she is. Yep. The other lady before, I just didn't know who she
No,
was.
right,
That's
yeah.
all.
Yep, no,
I'd
fair
like to
enough.
see a face with the
Yeah,
name.
yeah, so I'll entertain a motion to appoint Dawn Thistle, is it?
Thistle,
To
yeah.
the,
Yep.
as an ex
No,
officio member.
Ellen Smith.
No, Dawn
No,
Thistle
Dawn
is the one,
Thistle.
she's the library director. We're appointing the new library director to the
Building committee.
building committee, library building committee.
Okay, now, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll make a motion to appoint her.
And I will second, all in favor?
All right.
So that's done. And I don't see, do you know April Huback?
No,
April Gillette? Okay, I'll wait for her to come in. Let's take that up. Is Potvin here?
I just saw him walk in. He's over there with Brandon.
Because we have is this a hearing at 6:15?
Yep,
Or
yep.
is it posted a hearing at 6:15?
Yeah,
So we
they're
have
all-
to take it
they're
at
all here.
6:15?
They're all here, it's what, 10 past?
Was that for the liquor?
Yeah, it's 10 past right now.
Yeah, but do we need to wait for a butters, where the butters notified? Is it something butters
Nope.
need to have a,
Nope,
all right,
nope.
all right.
It does have to start at 6:50 because
All right.
it's a public hearing, so I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay,
It is a public hearing, posted?
okay, all right.
Let's see,
You won't have time for Bob, I don't think.
yeah,
Yeah.
won't have time to get there. So I have 5 minutes. Does anybody here have any comments that they want to make to the board? Something that'll take less than 5 minutes to,
Yeah, I got something real quick.
okay?
Just let me know if it needs to be put on the agenda because it just kind of came up.
Okay,
It's nothing real big. There's some of these old schoolhouse sites have been marked in the past. And I did notice one over by the Brookyard Road, right near the rail trail, is kind of in disrepair. I'd like to replace it, actually. So that's the sign.
okay.
And that's the location.
Where is it?
What's that, Brickyard?
Yeah, Brookyard, it's a rail trail.
Yep.
Brookyard goes this way. Actually, this little piece is textile property. It's a little far from the road, so I like to
So I
move it
haven't
up.
gone down there yet, so
I'd like to move it up closer to the road, so I was also wondering how far off the road town actually is owned, so in case this gets sold to a private person, party, wouldn't have to worry about it getting
but we own
removed.
66 feet. So is it on our,
No, it's not, it's a little, I think it's like more than, like 100 feet from the rail bed.
okay.
But I'm just thinking,
And it's a parcel that's in private ownership now?
no, it's textile property right now, this little triangle. I said I looked it up in town, owns that, it came along with this, I guess.
Go see the assessors and they can tell you how big it is and where the
Well-
lines are.
I just.
You're saying the
curious,
town owns
off the road, in case future events this gets sold, and somebody built a house there. I just want it close to the road so it's not on private property. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
if the town owns it,
Well, now they own it, but maybe they'll sell it.
It's not gonna get sold. Not if the rail trail goes down through there, it's
Well,
gonna be,
In any case, I
Okay,
mean, it's a little
yeah.
far off the road anyway.
Yeah,
I
we
you
can
just
go
want to know how far.
I just, well, yeah, I'd like to, just, be on the safe side. But I'd like to replace it, so I want to replace the posts and the sign. Jim Caldwell said make a new sign.
I was just gonna say, why don't you call Caldwell?
Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
So,
Yep, I think
I
you
think
should
that's a good location. It's,
do that.
be another kind of point of interest in that area.
I'll call,
Is that for us, Brandon? Or can
You
you
want
make
it?
us a copy? Or do
No,
you have a copy?
you can
Well,
have it.
I'll go down and look at it. I'll take a walk down sometime.
Yeah, but just, kind of,
I'll call Jason Benoit, the highway superintendent, and see how far we have. He'll know that off the top of his head.
all right,
And, yeah,
so,
yeah.
okay.
I say go for it. You don't have any objection, do you?
Nope, nope. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and I'll just let you know how far we think we have protection on, and you stay within that. We're
Yeah,
good.
I'll probably paint it white too, so you can see a little better, because it's kind of blended into the trees there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need post hole digger to dig the hole, or is it concreted in, or have you
I think it's just been
just a
pounded
post?
in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it looks like fairly soft ground around there, so. Not concerned.
All right.
I have a pulse rate digger in case anyway, so. Probably be a couple weeks before you can make the sign anyway. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm good with it.
Thanks.
I have a quick question.
Sure,
If
go
I
ahead.
took like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
For the second article, when you're approving the warrants from the school, I think the first one was like 75,000, usually the second was 134,000. We were just wondering if that was in relation to the article that we had tried to put in for the special town meeting.
We didn't receive
Sure.
anything from the school for inclusion on the warrant.
Okay, because Rich had sent an email on October 11th, it was like 8, I can look it up and check the time. And he said that Cindy O'Hara had looked through like our system and saw that it was sent and received at that time on October 11th, so that's why we were kind of,
No, do you have the header of it? Forward what you have as the header, because it didn't come to the selectmen's office.
okay. I'll
Nothing
double check
came to
and see
us.
if maybe in case he sent it to the wrong email address or something, but,
Yeah,
Alright,
because we
so you're just
sent,
kind of
we did
wondering.
send, we heard that there might be something, and we hadn't received anything, and we reached out and asked, and did you get a response to that inquiry? Yeah, we didn't get any responses at all, so we had no requests to be put on the warrant.
okay, because I think Richard said he had sent her, he had asked Leslie if she had received anything, and he hadn't gotten a response, but I think then maybe he might have just gotten a response either today or.
Yeah, she talked to him today, and
Okay.
we were forwarded a chain.
Yeah,
Our selectmen's email only has October 3rd as the last one. We have nothing with an October 11th in the chain.
okay.
So,
All right, we'll look into it and see what happened.
Okay.
We didn't know what to do going forward, like if, there was any possibility of, like even if we had to sign like a petition or something to have it added to the warrant, we didn't know what the process was from there.
yeah, I don't, not sure if it can be added at this point
No.
to the warrant
No, it's been posted.
for the 9th because it's been posted already. It would require another special town meeting, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I can have Rich always reach out to you guys
Okay.
and see if we can figure something out.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
And
thank you.
so email it to us and the finance committee,
Okay,
or to me directly, and I'll get it out to everybody.
sure,
So we all discuss it ahead of time.
okay,
All right?
all right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. We're now late, sorry.
Oh, okay. They used to, yeah.
Okay, so at 6:15, we have a hearing for a liquor license transfer for Bob's Deli. All right.
Okay, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Attorney Tom Truax of Salem, Massachusetts, on behalf of the proposed licensee. With me, to my immediate right, is Hemant Kumar Patel. He is the director of the corporation, is also the proposed manager, licensed manager of the corporation. And to my farthest right is Yogesh Patel. He is the officer and president, treasurer, and secretary, and the shareholder of the corporation. Pretty much, this is a very straightforward transaction. They are buying both the real estate and the business. No seller financing, except for financing of the inventory. As for experience, Mr. Yogesh Patel comes before you with approximately 4 or 5 years as manager of a package stores in Illinois and New Jersey that were liquor stores. And Mr. Humet Kumar comes before you with approximately 5 years experience in a package store environment. He was a manager of the store in Malden, One Stop Convenience, and he also has his, what we call the alcohol intervention method. This is with Trent Campbell. This is the gold card. It's better than TIPS because TIPS is an online course. This is what most towns require when there is a on-premises course. It expires in 2019, September, so it's a good year. But this is the gold standard for TIPS training. It's not TIPS, but it's the gold standard.
Yep.
So between the two of them, there's probably about 14 years, about 9, 10 years of experience in the alcohol sales business. They're both familiar with the training, the carding requirements in Massachusetts. And I was given my spiel as well, having been doing this for 30 some odd years. And I think they'll be in good hands. I've been down to the store. I know they're going to put some work into the store to help it a little bit, clean it up a little bit. Nothing major. It's pretty much going to stay the same, but just clean it up a bit.
Okay.
And I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Are you local? Is the corporate?
Mr. Patel, Yogesh Patel, is from New Jersey, so he'll be here intermittently, but he's not.
Okay.
Mr. Hemant Kumar, he currently lives in Malden, but he is in the process of getting an apartment closer by. He also has 2 of their colleagues that are in the area as well. So there'll be 3 of them that'll be working the store that are local.
Okay.
Is there still an apartment upstairs?
There is an
living-
apartment upstairs, yes.
2 apartments.
2 apartments.
Will that be rented also?
It's currently occupied by tenants, so I'm not sure.
Well, one of them would be utilized by us, in fact. And then we might rent the second one, yes.
Just when it sells, make sure that there's smoke detectors.
Yeah, that's,
All that has to
yeah,
go
we're
through
required
the-
by
It all has
statute
to go through the real estate.
Occupants.
Yeah, we're
Laws.
required by statute to get the
Updated.
smoke detector certificate through the fire prevention.
Yeah.
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 But I think what's before us is just a transfer of a liquor license, right?
True,
That's
yeah.
the only issue
Yep.
I think we need to deal with.
Do you need to see any other documents from them?
I don't know, everything in order? You got the,
I think we had a pretty complete
Everything's here,
package
yeah.
with all the
Everything's here.
all right.
paperwork.
So what is it, just a fee and a documentation?
Yeah, this all has to go to ABCC.
Yeah, and ABCC
They have the final say.
they have the final say, so
Yeah.
Okay.
we're just approving
So
it
we're
at the
approving
local
them
level.
as- okay.
ABCC will do all the due diligence on the, I guess the.
They do the core, the criminal background checks.
Yeah, to
all
make
that.
sure that they're capable on the state level of having the license that they're getting. So there's no due diligence on our aspect, I don't believe. that-
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to oppose. Do you? No, everything's in order?
Yep.
Yep, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Seconded, all in favor?
All right.
All right, very good.
I think
Sign that up.
one slight thing, it is a hearing, so we have to ask if there's anyone opposed and anyone, I don't want to have any problems with that either.
In the
Yeah.
the general public?
Yep.
Yeah, they're not afraid to speak up, so. Anybody?
Were the former owners local people?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked if they would have somebody that was gonna be local managing it.
Yes, there
Yeah.
were 3 people, yeah.
What is the definition of local?
It'll probably be in town. There's no
We'll be
requirement.
occupying one of the apartment probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna probably live upstairs or someone else that's managing?
Someone else.
Someone else that will work there?
But I'll be here intermittently.
Yeah, but that's the corporate structure, so,
Well, Mr. Hemant Kamira will be here at least 40 hours a week.
okay. Anybody else? Satisfy your,
Yep. Just don't want to get in trouble.
there's only that one signature, right?
Yep.
On the page.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Now, I saw
April, who's that?
April, yep. April, want to come up for a sec? It's right over there.
What is she doing?
So this is April Hubeck. She's been to the last two finance committees, committee meetings. I've also attended. And I think, Chet, did you recommend her for the finance committee? So she's interested. She's sent a letter of intent to be appointed. We have a vacancy right now. So just want to introduce yourself to John. Tell us a little about yourself. And
My name's April Gillette Huback. I've been in town my whole life. We have a house on Medbrook Road. Plan to be here for probably the rest of our lives. So I figured I'd just do my part to contribute something to the town. And Chet was after me about joining the finance committee, and figure I still have to learn a little bit about what they do and whatnot, but use my brain to help the town how I can.
Yep, I think it's good to get a younger resident's perspective on financial matters,
I believe that's true also.
because we get Chet to represent the other end of the scale, so.
Well, it's good to see you show interest, and there is a learning curve
Yeah,
in town politics. And
the first couple
committees.
meetings I already learned a great deal of information, so I'm sure like the next year I'll probably just keep learning a lot more about it, but.
So I'll entertain a motion to appoint April to the Finance Committee,
Make the motion to appoint her.
and I will second. All in favor?
Aye. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We need more volunteers for other committees in town, so if anybody is motivated to join anything, let us know. And thank you, Chet, for bringing somebody in. That's great. All right. One more agenda item. Mr. Parvin, on the Bates Observatory. Better to get you on, not for us, but the people watching on television can't hear unless you're at a microphone.
How you doing, Bob?
So you'd like to talk to us about the Bates Observatory?
I need an update. I tried 10 years ago and I failed. What is the status of it now in terms of funding and anything else in my 10-year hiatus?
So we still have the money that was available back then, 92,000-ish roughly, for upkeep and repair of the observatory. That money's still there. It's not been spent. I've reached out to Ken Eurasius, had expressed an interest in helping repair it. He does historical restorations, and we keep missing the connection in the spring. Every time we have a meeting, he seems to be traveling somewhere around the world for his job, so he's interested in repairing. So that's where it stands at the moment. We're interested in restoring it, at least the outside of it anyway, because it is crumbling, and it either has to come down or be restored.
Okay.
So.
Well, I was surprised to hear it was still in abeyance 10 years later, but that's okay.
It's well, you mean the money?
No, both, the building and everything.
Yeah.
Because as I see it, the free enterprise system would work the best in that. I tried a lot of ways unsuccessfully, so I have a stronger feeling towards the small businessman that might be interested in working for a fee and restoring it. Essentially, there's two basic ideas. One is the concrete aspect, the bricks and mortar. And then there's the wood aspect, and then maybe a lesser degree, the electrical and all the other things. But in studying it, and I ran into a new interested party the other day, Alden Research. They have telescopes, and this guy really perked his. He never heard of it. I had been out to Cincinnati to a conference Buddy Lane sponsored me 10 years ago. So, yeah, I think it's viable. And the main reason I'm there is because of the donor. Theodore C. Bates was a town father, big time. Railroad, library, school. And, not to do anything at this point, it would be wrong. Did a fish or cut bait?
Yeah, I did go through the entire file a couple of years ago when I first got on the board. And it seems as though the town tried, the select board, in a group that was interested in restoring it, tried to get money approved by the town, and it was voted down at town meeting. Money to add to the 90 that we had to restore it. I mean, I think John and I have talked about this before, and we're all supportive of restoring it. It's just, how do we get it done? We need money to get it done, and who's interested?
But it sounds like a lot of money, $90,000. I had brought in Paquette 10 years ago, and he's talking $65,000 for the masonry.
Right, so it depends on what level you want to restore it to. If you want to just restore the outside so that people can look at it.
No, it's got to be functional.
Yeah, well, and that's where the extra money needed to come from, because I think they were talking about the wood inside, like you're talking about, in restoring it. Plus, you're going to have to get up to the top and probably put railings around the top and stuff like that. So there's all.
My idea 10 years later is obviously perseverance is the key word, and I haven't found anybody that's really excited about it. There are people in town that lived here for 40 years, they don't even know it exists. So, and there are other priorities in the community, but being that there's money available, I think it's getting on with it is the key thing.
Well, if you could get us a plan, I think we'll support it.
Well, I supported some paperwork, and I feel you should have a clerk of the works, a person that overviews the tradesmen. I have experience in that regard. I have experience in fundraising. I'm a local boy. I'm even related to one of the selectmen.
Down the road.
Yeah, so.
But if you can raise funding and stuff, enough to get this thing done, plus Dale had talked to Mr. Eurasius last year, if we can get him involved.
Well,
he has a crew that would.
I was terribly disappointed in the outcome. And I question did you have my file? There was a gray box, a metal box, with all the records.
No.
When I moved to West Brookfield, I turned them in.
To the selectmen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave me some papers, but there was no metal box.
It's
I've got some
academic
papers,
10 years
definitely.
later.
Yeah, I've got some
There's
papers.
quite a file in there. I mean, I read the whole file.
Right, and some of it was from Bob.
And there are priorities. The town hall obviously is much more priority than the observatory, but the uniqueness of the observatory, and it's about 500 feet from the classrooms, and if kids aren't exposed to the whole process in the community, they're going to grow up and not know about it.
Yeah, I agree with you, but and like you said, we need somebody to spearhead it and take on the mantle and motivate people.
I had 5 or 6 guys last year that were willing to donate their time if Eurasius was going to go up there.
Yeah.
Because I had guys that were, myself included, taking stuff down, setting up staging, They're all contractors, so they're used to doing the physical work, and it just never panned out. So if we can get a hold of the brick guy,
Yeah, he was
I can get
supposed to
that
send,
crew.
he was supposed to send his supervisor, the man that was in town supervising his job for him, because he was down in the Central America somewhere, to go over and see Rich, and they were going to develop a plan, and then they were gonna contact us with their plan. I don't know if that meeting ever happened.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it probably didn't, because we didn't get a plan, and nobody said anything after that, so.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't want to take on another project myself, but
Oh, you're sprinting.
Oh, what will
if I had to, I would help you in trying to secure workers, but you'd have to come up with the funding somehow. You'd have to
Oh, you got
do
$90,000.
fundraisers. Yeah, but you can't use that all up in one shot, because then you're gonna have nothing to maintain it once it's done.
Oh.
There'll be nothing left. It's
Well,
gonna
my
cost more
idea-
than that.
There are 3 phases, and my idea is that there are about 18 windows. I think more or less I've counted them many times. There's 18 windows, there's a couple doors. And so you can start the ball rolling by getting quotes from 2 or 3 suppliers of this. The masonry is a key thing. I'm a very practical person. I feel I am. And I see the wood aspect. The holes are still there where the beams came out. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's very elementary, but it's also meaningful because of what it represents. The man who had the vision, Theodore C. Bates. And it seems it's time to act in a stern way, because the $90,000, you know, it's worthless unless it's used.
Well, I think every year that you wait, the costs go up.
Maybe.
So the 90,000 is not going to go as far as it would have gone 10 years ago, certainly. And I don't disagree that it's time to act, but I think we need to get the masonry stuff shored up first.
Get
and
the
then-
outside of the building secure.
Yeah,
Because you can do windows after the bricks are done. Windows can go in
I
afterwards in
understand
the
the
door.
process.
so,
I have experience in restoring antique houses and building a new house and working with all the tradesmen. That's why I suggested having a clerk of the works. You get somebody who can crack the whip and make sure they show up and all that, because that's what it's all about, perseverance.
yeah, but the clerk of the works is going to have to be paid, or they're going to have to
Yeah, why
volunteer their
not?
time.
I mean, no free lunch.
Where did the 90,000 come from?
It was a gift to the town in a will. Somebody left it when they passed away. And it's,
And there's no details.
It has to be,
90,000.
it has to be used for maintenance and care of the Bates Observatory.
Yep.
Otherwise, it can't be spent. It's for that specific purpose.
So is it some bigger amount now because it's been earning interest all these years?
Over the years, well, I don't know
No.
how.
The interest goes to the town.
yeah, it's just the amount that was given to us. So that's the amount that is directed towards the upkeep and repair of Bates. And there are some provisions in the law to have that changed. So if Bates didn't exist anymore, say it fell down and collapsed on its own, we could petition the probate court to put it to use similar to what the original person wanted it to be used as. But Bates is still up, it's still viable, we want to repair it, so that money will get used towards Bates.
I think you'd be better off, Bob, finding a clerk of the works pro bono. Find somebody that will do it volunteer, and then there are volunteers out there that would help to do that instead of costing $200,000 or whatever, just picking a number to fix it.
Okay, now I know. You know, I want to thank you for your time, and
There are volunteers in town, I know, I asked, and I had 5 or 6 guys personally last year that were willing to help labor-wise.
but knowing how to get to the printer is equally as important. You know, a lot of people give lip service, and if you say you're going to do something, you do it. And we had one man back out in the last minute, on a bid for the work. And I don't see it as that big of a deal. I see it as being something that can be restored and brought to use by the community because it's so unique. But if it's not the will of the people, then we'll get on to the next thing.
Well, there was somebody a few years ago that wanted to knock it down and make a plaque on the ground. It was in the paperwork. I looked it all up, the history of it, and they wanted to put 4 bricks with a plaque saying this here stood Bates Observatory. And that's when I said, why don't we rebuild it?
I think Mr. Bates would roll in his grave.
He would. I'd like to see it come to be repaired also.
Yeah, and I don't
Kenny
know where
Nye
you saw
showed me.
that,
Kenny
but-
Nye showed me all. I have it at the house. Kenny Nye looked up the history of it, and he was one of the guys that would the plumber. I don't know if you know Ken.
Yeah.
What was presented to the town that they voted against?
It was over 10 years ago now, and they were going to take the 90,000 plus they needed another, I think it was 25,000, sticks in my head for some reason, to restore it. And the town voted against the money at the time to restore Bates specifically. So,
There was a committee. No, it all.
yeah, it was a big committee.
Yep. Never came.
Brandon,
to
you remember that?
fruition.
Yep.
Any documents in the,
Uh,
did we have it right?
Sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get you copies of that stuff that I have.
So, tell you what, I'll call Ken Urasis and see
No,
what we can do with the
I'm
bricks. and we'll
satisfied
get-
with the discussion as it stands. I would just say that I'm out, you know.
Oh,
Because
that's unfortunate.
I tried the first time, and now I'm looking at trying the second time, but I think that the concept of pro bono doesn't always work. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as I say, it's
All right, well, we'll do our best.
disappointing, but it's true.
Yep,
Okay, now I know.
all
Thank
right,
you.
thanks.
Does that mean I have to take on another project in the spring? Bob, the pro bono thing is working on the rail trail, pretty much. Just so you know, we've cleared quite a bit of work, of brush and everything going down there. Zero cost to anybody but myself and a few of the workers for fuel. So that concept does work.
But that work has stopped now, right?
For
the winter.
For the winter, yeah. Yeah. It's just, we're painting the townhouse too. I'm into that one too, so. And that's at no cost to the town also. That's all donated money. And, we've got the sheriff's department coming out, helping out with that. It's all no cost to the town.
All right,
That concept does work when if you have somebody behind it. So.
okay. Anybody else with a public comment? I don't have anything else on the agenda, so if you have any comments, now's the time. All right, announcements, state election.
I don't have that. I don't know why.
Do you have it?
No, it's just right there.
Oh. The state election is going to be held November 6th, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. here at the Senior Center. And I believe early voting's already started. You can contact the town clerk
Yep.
to early vote. Trick or treat is tomorrow evening, 5:30 to 7. Those are the hours approved by the police chief. We also have the trunk or treat going up on the common, and I think the playground committee is going to have the bonfire that they had to postpone from their Saturday event. So things will be available in and around the common. And then the special town meeting, November 9th at 7 p.m. So at 7 p.m., November 9th, at the elementary school auditorium. Special town meeting to approve some money transfers and money items. And that's it for the announcements. Anything else?
No, I think we're all set.
All right, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
All right,
All right. Good night, all.
that's the info on
Oh, good, yeah.